Hello, secret code name Island, and welcome to the full moon in Gemini mirror analysis readings. Just know when I started your reading, it was 4:44 here. So we've got a lot of divine energy here at work for you, okay? A lot of archangel support for that matter. This reading is to help you recognize where your perspective may be short-sighted, okay? Or maybe even a better way of describing it is low-sighted, in that the perspective you're holding is a lower vibration than the reality you wish to manifest. So it's to help you understand where your perspective may be keeping you stuck, so that you can let go of it and make progress and move forward, so that you can elevate your perspective, in order to elevate the reality to the one you want, right? In this reading, you have presented as the Four of Swords. You have the Hanged Man below you with the Ace of Cups above you. The Six of Wands representing what is behind you and potentially also holding you back from progress. And then the Chariot is the first step that Spirit is giving you forward. Okay? And of course leads into the guidance card, which you received from the White Light Oracle. It is card number 42, Garuda Suparna. Okay, Garuda Suparna. What does this mean? Four of Swords representing the self. In the Hermetic Tarot, the Four of Swords represents the Lord of Rest from strife. You are in what I would call metaphorically connected to the state that Snow White was in after eating the poison apple, right? She wasn't dead, but she was at an eternal resting place. She was still and could not make progress, stuck in that coffin, right? Her feminine, the feminine, was asleep. The receptive energy, the ability to receive, was asleep. It's the masculine aspect of the self that had to take charge and set her free. It's the masculine aspect within the self that has to open the box, open the tomb, and say, you are worth waking. Divine feminine within the self, your ability to receive. You've been frozen in time. The reason why you are frozen in time is because you perceive something in your past to be a victory for you. And the victory, although a blessing and an act of love of self with Jupiter and Leo on the card, essentially the victory committed you to stagnation. The choice put you on pause, right? That you would stop receiving. Maybe at the time what you were receiving, you perceived as too much to handle. And so it was considered a victory to let it go. But you've stagnated or remained idle in what you've been receiving since. The Hanged Man below and the Ace of Cups above asks you to see things from a perspective of spirit that puts feeling over logic, because the victory in a sense, was logical. The victory was logical. For the mind. But it didn't necessarily make sense to the soul. Thus, the lack of progress or lack of change, right? The Ace of Cups acknowledges the fact that somewhere in you there is a lot of love and a deep overflow of very receptive energy that is ready to unleash itself and yet won't. Won't because it is stuck on the idea that the action taken was a victory instead of a stepping stone. What if the victory was not a completion, but a stepping stone? What if you perceived the victory as an ending that was necessary, but in reality was merely a stepping stone to the true reality of the conclusion? If you were spirit, for example, trying to teach you to see people as they are, not what they appear to be, like Snow White did the evil queen, right? If Snow White had seen the old hag for who she really was and not what she was presenting, because the evil queen was truly beautiful and she was smart and she was powerful. But the evil queen showed herself as weak and feeble and ugly. Who were you dealing with? Who truly was a beautiful person, a strong, powerful person, a smart person, but was portraying themselves and projecting themselves as weak. As in need of help. Who was it in your past that you let go of? Claimed a victory in letting them go. Not realizing that it was a stepping stone, because the reality is Snow White loved the evil queen. Snow White loved her. That was her mother. It was the mother that she knew. She couldn't imagine why the evil queen would try and cause her harm. She couldn't wrap her head around why the evil queen that she loved, her mother, would seek to cause her harm or try and have her killed, try and kill her. She ran away heartbroken, was crying in the woods, lost, right? You were dealing with someone whose feminine energy was extremely powerful and didn't understand just how much it was manifesting and receiving in the love department. Someone who didn't recognize the beauty in themselves the way you did. You just wanted to be loved the same way you loved. That's all Snow White wanted. Think about that. And the evil queen lost her masculine, the king. The king was not present. The evil queen lost its logic and reason and will, its ability to protect itself from causing harm, especially causing harm to the self. You were dealing with someone whose feminine was so powerful that they manifested the love you gave and had no idea how to protect it, had no idea how to serve it and keep it safe without hurting it. And so your feminine energy shut down. And your masculine energy has been searching to save it ever since. Secret code name Island. The Chariot is your ability to move forward. That's your step forward. It's allowing divine intervention and miracle to take place. Like I said, what if it wasn't the victory you thought it was? Like the end of Snow White, you see Prince Charming come in, wake her up, they live happily ever after, but nothing's ever talked about in regards to the evil queen after, or how it feels to be Snow White going back to that castle knowing that her mother's not there. Feeling it a little bit empty. Knowing there was a room for her that was hers in the castle, and it's empty. That's the reality of things outside of the fairy tale. Did Snow White's love for her mother really die with the evil queen? Did she try and rescue the evil queen regardless and try and find her and bring her back to light? Allow the evil queen to fall in love with herself again? Find her own masculine energy? What happens after? These are the questions Spirit's asking you. What happens after the victory? Because is it really a victory? Is no one really affected or hurt or anything by the evil queen? It's like she was never there. Nobody remembers. Nobody misses her. Was she always so evil? Who was she before she was evil? How did she become evil in the first place? Spirit's asking you to see something from a different perspective, Hanged Man underneath, because you have a lot of love in you still. That consciously is overflowing and spilling from you regardless. Can you trust in the idea of a stepping stone? Because if you can see evil for what it is, you don't have to play evil's game. You don't have to look at the evil queen with sadness or hate or disappointment or victim mentality. But you can in turn see them for the victim that they are, the ugly that they feel, the detachment from their own logic and reason, that they don't feel they deserve to receive everything that they were receiving, that they would sabotage their beautiful life, but instead to give them another option. When you behave this way, you're pushing the people that love you away, and you deserve to be loved, so stop it. And if they persist, it's about getting more firm. You are pushing the people that love you away, behaving like this. And you deserve to be loved. So take a moment and collect yourself and remember that I'm someone who loves you. And you don't talk to people who love you that way. Whatever you're feeling, talk to me. I will be patient and do my best to understand, and I will ask questions to better understand. But we don't have to push each other away. This might be a serious undercurrent lesson that you've been going through for quite a while. Not being able to handle and or deal with people who don't understand their pain projection. Garuda Suparna. I'm going to read some of this for you. It says, cultivate confidence in yourself. You have the inner spiritual power to deal wisely and effectively with any situation. Don't allow anyone to take advantage of your kind nature. Reflect upon what action feels best for you to take, and then follow through with decisiveness. Do not allow negativity to get a grip in your life. Positive energy and outcomes are indicated. Garuda is the mystical king of the birds, a mighty eagle-like divine creature celebrated in the spiritual traditions of the East. In Sanskrit, Suparna means to have powerful wings and fly well. This has spiritual significance as Garuda can cover great distances and reach tremendous heights. Garuda's earthly counterpart, the eagle, is said to use the powerful winds of a storm to fly above it rather than get caught within it. The eagle spirit is a wisdom teacher, one who advises how to utilize the storms of ego to fuel your capacity and rise spiritually to face problems head on and use them to heal and grow. Eagle seeks higher sanctuary where negativities can be dealt with before they cause further problems. Another Sanskrit word accorded to Garuda is Vishari, which essentially means conqueror of poisons. Garuda Suparna augurs a time when you will need to rise above the pettiness of ego and ensure you nip negativities in the bud, lest they become powerful enough to cause havoc in your heart. You don't need to become ensnared within the drama of ego. Garuda fights on the side of the light and is a bringer of powerful protection and hope and is a symbol of rebirth. He is a capable warrior His dark side can be seen in that he is merciless. In Buddhism, he is known as the dignity of wisdom. Sometimes our compassion can outweigh our wisdom. Our empathy allows troublesome behaviors or circumstances to fester and develop into far greater problems later on. If we had listened to our wisdom, we would have cut them off at the root. But while it can be harder to do so later, it is not impossible, and it is Garuda who teaches us to be unyielding when that is what wisdom calls for. Eagle socializes with its own kind. Therefore, an aspect of its medicine is to seek those who resonate at a similar spiritual frequency and are committed to a higher path. Such kindred spirits will not necessarily have the same belief systems. They may seem quite different to you in many ways. Yet if someone has a commitment to honoring the hearts of all beings, they are likely to be good company for your soul. Garuda Eagle Medicine empowers us to discern the real quality of our relationships. The company you keep can have a profound effect. You have the spiritual right and responsibility to choose which company you keep. You don't need to judge, for everyone is taking their own journey and working to heal their karma, but you do need to discern. Garuda has the mystical power to grow or shrink depending on what is needed to accomplish his heroic tasks. By becoming large enough to block the sun and cause thunderstorms just by flapping his wings, to become small enough to hide in a crevice, to craftily avoid capture. Garuda teaches us when to step up and shine bright and bold and when to fly under the proverbial radar. The Oracle of Garuda Saparna is a talisman of divine protection and soul-smart strategy. Garuda is a wild spirit, free and instinctive. His is the wisdom and empowerment needed to rise above negativity, not from avoidance, but from a place of wisdom and clarity. This oracle guides you to rely on your own instincts and be true to your heart. In doing so, you may not always look like a perfect person from the outsiders observing you, but you are proceeding in the resonance of your own soul with your own heart's wisdom. Others, right, might not understand your choices, especially should you choose to move forward in the vibration of divine miracle and intervention and consider what was once your victory and closure a stepping stone. Others might look at you and say you're crazy for going back, and that's okay because it's not their resonation, it's yours. And the difference is you have wisdom on your side because you know where your empathy and your feeling bad for someone and taking things personal, where it got you last time. You know now better than you did then how to stand up for yourself. How to remind someone that they cannot treat you that way because the last time they treated you that way or the last time someone spoke to you that way, you left. The love didn't go anywhere. The love still existed. That's the Ace of Cups. The love still existed. But the behavior was not tolerable or acceptable. And so you left. Claimed that victory for yourself. So if someone appreciates you, Garuda Saparna, being around, they must absolutely respect the fact that you don't tolerate shit, that you are merciless when it comes to that. That you will cut them down to size real quick. Because if their ego, like the sun, is shining so fucking bright, that you risk going blind and losing your ability to see as a divine being, that you will grow so big that you will block out the sun. You will block out their ego and prevent them from shining. And if you need to be small and disappear and escape from view, you will, because you know how to do that too. This is welcoming in and embracing the guardian, Garuda Suparna, to embody that guardian energy so that it can do just that. Guard and protect you from the highest perspective. I hope this helps. I hope this helps because it is going to help you see beyond what has kept you stuck. Do not be afraid to face the healing process and the growing process to achieve what it is you really want. To love someone more than you have ever loved before, including yourself. Until next time, this is the last moon event for 2021. And I do look forward to reading for you next year. Know that my love and support is with you always. Until next time, take care.